Found my father after 20 years. I end up regretting it. I, 27 female, haven't seen my father in 20 years, thanks to my mother. She left him and took me with her to the other end of the country. During the divorce, she spread lies about him hurting me and having kitty stuff on his computer. She lied to everyone that would listen. In the end, she got full custody, and he never saw me again. I believed her lies, and my mind created false memories based off those lies. All the while, she was spreading lies, she was beating and belittling me behind closed doors. Thanks to years of therapy, I can more or less separate the real from the fake. Once I learned that he never actually hurt me, I went looking for him. Today, I finally found him on Facebook. He's remarried and seemingly happy. I scrolled through his page, learning about the man that taught me to swim, golf, play soccer, and take me out for root beer floats after school. I regretted almost immediately when his first post was about how anyone who celebrates Juneteenth should be eradicated in order to keep America racially pure. Another post was him praising those who were at the January 6th insurrection and how he wished he had been there. The last post I looked at was him holding a shotgun he labeled the F It Got Killer with the caption, "I'm doing God's will." I didn't scroll any further than that. I feel disgusted that I come from not one but two nut jobs. If I had grown up with both of them, I might have ended up believing in the same stuff as them. I can't imagine being so full of hate and disgust just because someone is different than you. In the end, I have decided to not make contact. I'm not going to risk bringing that kind of toxicity into my family's lives. Besides, if he had really cared about me, he would have sought me out long before I went looking for him. Entitled Mother is Taking Advantage of Me. So this is a somewhat long post. I'm gonna try to keep it short but looking for feedback so might get lengthy. I, male, 30 years old, currently live with my mother, 53 years old, and her husband, 50. My mother has not worked a job in 3.5 years, while her husband works full-time seasonally, but gets paid part-time wages due to his employer paying lawyer fees to keep him out of jail some years back. I work full-time plus overtime, 60 hours a week, federal company even. I got this job in 2019. In 2016, I moved into this 2-bedroom townhouse with my mother. I was still working part-time, got a full-time job that paid well, $16 an hour plus OT, for a 23-year-old. I was paying half on the rent and the full light bill, $400 plus in CT with old infrastructure skull, as well as food, her cell phone bill, gassing up her car and buying her cigarettes. I did not have a car at the time. Southwest she would drive me to the bus stop and asked for gas and cigs as appreciation for her helping me. The job was contracted, I didn't get converted to permanent employee, so a new job came with a small pay cut and full-time for this company was 33 hours a week but could walk from home. By this point, 2017, my mother had paid off most of her car and was financially good. I began to struggle with the lights and half the rent due to my pay cut, and she made it an entire thing about me choosing to not pay when I'm showing her my bank account to disprove her assumption. Fast forward to late 2018, she starts dating her now husband, could not be happier to see her getting a life. I get hired at a full-time, well-paying job. She decides she wants to move in with her boyfriend and leave me the townhouse, with the furniture as a gift, if I can cover the bills and all on my own. I'm all for it. Mind you, this gift came after she stole the title of my car out of my room and sold it while I was at work to a family member and kept the money. Jump to August 2019 and I got hired by the post office, best pay, and more hours than I could know what to do with. I'm banking. Living solo, enjoying my time to self-fire then. March 2020, I get called that my mother is quitting her job because she's tired of commuting, moved 2 towns over, and she worked in medical and claimed, my job is allowing COVID patients to come in, so she quit. To be a stay-at-home wife in 2020. Gave her $200 for her birthday and she then made that a money thing to ask for, which my dumbass thought was fine to help woozy face. Her half-brained husband tells her it's fine, that he can handle the bills while she takes a break because she deserves it. Whole time, his ass can't afford shit. Think when you sweep a room and brush the dirt under the rug, Except the dirt is Bill's face with symbols on mouth, so who do they call once shut-off notices and back due rent from a year ago is due? Call me. And since my mother was on the OG lease and we never told the owner she moved, wasn't much I could say. The idea was they move in with the intent to save towards buying a home and leaving me with my own space again. Find out half-brain's credit score is in the 400s and my mother not working, couldn't apply for a loan. The plan is then, I'll collect unemployment and save towards a house. She finagled unemployment and her husband job hopped a total of 5 times since. Whole time, I'm paying a majority on everything, like 70/30th split, because they have to save and I've been covering it myself anyway. Every time I talk about moving or apartment hunting going well, I get threatened with eviction or police calls from my mother, calls up the family to tell them I'm sabotaging. I sacrificed my life for you kids and you don't appreciate shit, could be a t-shirt in this house. She even has the family convinced that she's been working for the last 4 years. This woman bought a whole computer and has it on the kitchen table to appear like she works from home when people come over. This shit is insane and her husband just supports it like a dumbass. I need to get away but I can't properly save for rent/deposit, while also paying $1,250 for rent and lights, 70/30th split, along with all my own food, cosmetics, car insurance, cell phone, gas, and random expenses. Just had to replace my alternator 2 weeks ago, and local rent plus deposit is $3,000 plus, Central Connecticut. All this while my mother sits at home and shit talks me to her husband and anyone who will listen. And she shit talks all of those people, broke-ass husband, her words included. I don't want to dislike my mother but the thought of being taken advantage of has been at the forefront of my mind for too long now. I can't even exchange pleasantries with this woman without getting bothered lately. Am I being too harsh or is this entitled mother bullshit? My mother hasn't worked in 3.5 years and I pay a majority of the bills in a home while still being treated like a child, where me, her, and her broke-ass, liquor-loving husband live. I want to stop helping them so I can move on my own permanently but get threatened with court action due to her being the original name on the lease whenever I tell them to pay their own bills. Entitled Mom bitches about $5 for half an hour and blocking the line. So I work as a host for a restaurant, and yesterday was Father's Day so it was packed. I worked pretty much the entire day, woke up at 10 a.m. and clocked in at 12 p.m. I sat this family down at around 3 p.m., and didn't think much of it. About half an hour later, complaints were rolling in. The customers were trying to make substitutions with the combo meals, and that wasn't allowed except for certain items. It wasn't for some small combo either, it was worth $100 plus and she kept trying to squeeze in expensive items to substitute the less expensive ones. When the restaurant emptied out a bit, the manager stopped by at the front desk for a break and a chat. She started to complain about these customers who 1. Pretended they didn't get a part of their combo when the busboy, chefs, and waitress could confirm it was made and was sent to their table. 2. Started holding the check and tip as hostage to fix the order. 3. Returned $40 plus worth of food after a bite because they were too full. I didn't really care too much and just took it as an interesting story because it didn't affect me, but it did leave a horrible impression. After the customers were done with everything, they sent their checks with 2 coupons. Our company policy around coupons are pretty strict, because it would only allow for a single coupon for each table to prevent customers splitting their orders and leaving a coupon in every single one of them. I took the $5 off, printed the receipt and sent it back to waitress. She comes back saying that the customer was complaining about how the second coupon wasn't used, when it clearly said only 1 coupon for a table in the back. I was pretty grouchy and couldn't be bothered after 4 hours of sleep, so I just took off the price for the hush puppies they had, and sent the receipt back. Card swiped, money paid, tips done, customers leave, right? If only. A couple minutes later, an old lady stomped back to the front with the poor waitress in tow demanding to know why the second coupon, which said, when ordering an entree, you can enjoy a complimentary entree for free, up to $10 value, didn't take $10 off their order, but instead took $5.15. Technically, that was an invalid coupon because we didn't have any entrees below $10, and nowhere did it say that it would take $10 off their check. I tried explaining that she didn't order any entrees below $10, so I just took off the hush puppies. She said, but that says $10. I didn't really catch her point and just said, and. So I should get $10 off. No, the coupon gives you a free entree under $10, which you didn't order. Hello. Can you read? She started waving her hands in front of my face, lifted the coupon close underlined $10 with her nails, and said $10. Entree. Hush puppies aren't entrees. This cycle goes on a couple times with our voices slowly getting louder before she busts out that "then I want a refund" card. I gave up and decide to just give her $10 off. Worst comes to worst, I'll just pay out of my own pocket. There were customers waiting behind her, and I might as well get this over with. Just when I tell her fine, she took the opportunity to taunt with her daughter recording as backup. Hush puppies aren't an entree, they're appetizers. I should be getting $10 off my entree. Can you even read? She had a shit-eating smile on her face. Now, there were plenty of cards I could have played here, with the pettiest being the race card, that realized just now. But, I just got angry and decided to argue. I won't lie, some of the stuff I said belonged to a fantasy novel with how cringe some of the lines were. I'm rolling around in bed with embarrassment while typing this. Here's how the convo roughly went. Me, you know what? No. I'm not giving you a discount, OB. I want to see a manager. Me, well congrats. You're speaking to the manager. I was pulling this out of my ass, and the final answer is no. OB, you're obviously not, because I've already spoken to a manager. You shouldn't be working front desk with your attitude. Me, good for you, but final answer is no. Our voices have been steadily rising at this point, and the actual manager walked in and tried to break us up. Then, the funniest thing happened. Her daughter tried to gaslight me and directly lie to the manager, and maybe the audience for her TikTok or whatever. We've been polite all this time, but you've been standing here calling us stupid. Matter of fact, I hated this girl more than her presumed mom. She's the textbook example of a gaslighter, and she's probably the inspiration behind Key and Peele's short about the person who always say awkward. All the way down to that dumb side smirk and how she makes you feel dumb when you've done nothing but defend your point. She kept gassing up her mom and played the perfect Karen supporting role by trying to find any morale high ground or threats. She even tried to pit the waitress against me using the tip, saying that she might not get a tip because of me, a crisp $5 bill after an hour and a half of listening and adjusting their orders to their complaints. It ended with the manager caving in and giving them the discount, and they left happy and scot-free. I think I should have just held it in a bit better. Now I got a video of me floating around somewhere acting like a prick, and I have nothing gained. I felt super frustrated at the manager, but now I understand there was nothing she could do. People need to stop treating food industry workers like slaves.